Hey guys, I feel like today is just gonna be like a vent night girl chat. Like if we were on FaceTime, you know when you're like calling your girls and it's just like, oh my god girl, like we just need to talk about all the things, whether it's boys, whether it's insecurities, whether it's life path, like whatever it is, we just need to talk about all the things. So we're gonna talk about all the things. I don't even know what I'm gonna title this video yet. I just literally turned the camera on and I was like, I'm gonna talk to y'all. Yeah, it's girls night in. Okay y'all, what are we gonna talk about? Let's just get into it. I feel like I have multiple topics that I want to talk about, but the first thing that I want to say, and something that helped me change my own life, the first thing that I want to say is something that helped me just get over myself. Honestly, you are your biggest bully. Literally that. You are stopping yourself. You are in your own way in probably more ways than one. Stop hating yourself. Let's start there. 9 times out of 10, you are the biggest bully in your life. Now, you might have had a bully in your life before, whether it's school, it might have been your own mom, it might have been whatever, right? That's fine. But somewhere along the way, you inherited that and now you are your own biggest bully. What do I mean by this? What do you mean, girl? 9 times out of 10, when something is going good for you, right? When things are going well, let's say you have like a good opportunity that like might be yours, or like a job that seems like it's perfect for you, or a guy that seems like he's really into you. Rather than just existing and saying, yes, this is my reality, you go to, it can't be that. He can't like me that much. He must be this, or he's faking it, or the job isn't mine. They're gonna give it to somebody else, or it can't go good for too long. Where's the bad thing that's coming? Like, oh my god, girl. You probably go down through a tangent of like, but this, it's probably this, that's probably negative, rather than just accepting that your reality is a nice place to be. Like, rather than just choosing the good thing. I talk to my friends about this all the time, especially as an anxiety girly. Sometimes when anxiety kicks in or when bad thoughts come in, it's easy to choose that thing because that's the thing that's dangerous, right? So we live in, I need to be prepped for danger. But maybe, just maybe, if the dangerous thing is gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And you looking at the car crash isn't gonna stop the car crash. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might just have to make the choice to say, I'm not gonna choose to believe that the car is gonna crash. I'm actually gonna choose to believe that the car is gonna be a good ride. That's a nicer place to exist. You spend a lot of time in your mind as a human. So I always see this quote about like, make your mind a nice place to be. Make your mind a garden, not a battlefield, not a zone of war. Like, let your mind start to become a very warm, beautiful bed of flowers for you to lay in. And when something happens, we can adjust and fix the garden, but we don't have to always prep for the weed. You know what I'm saying? If we're always prepping for a weed to pop up in the garden, then we're never enjoying the garden. We're never enjoying all these dandelions and all these hydrangeas and all these beautiful flowers in the garden because we're still looking for, but where's the weed? What was the point of having the garden? It's like, okay, if I put all my time in making this garden such a beautiful, beautiful place for me, right? Whether it's because I want fruits from it or vegetables, or I just want a bed of flowers, whatever it is, right? And then I finally get this beautiful garden. I'm like, okay, I love my garden. I actually love still building the garden. The garden is gorgeous. And then I'm like, but where's the weed? You're missing all the beauty of the garden underneath you because you're like, but where's the weed though? Now, doesn't that sound crazy? Doesn't that sound crazy? When 9 times out of 10, there's not a weed. And if there is a weed, girl, it's gonna make itself known when it needs to be known. Right now, let's enjoy the garden. This is the next thing. One big reason that you might not be able to exist in the garden is that you do not trust yourself to be able to fix the weed problem when it comes up. Okay? It's a thing of, I need to find the weed first before it finds me, because if the weed finds me, I'm not gonna be able to fix this problem. I need to look for it now. Screw all these flowers that I worked so hard for. I need to find that weed because that weed has a lot of power. That weed might be stronger than me. That weed might be smarter than me. One of my closest friends, shout out Renee, my sister girl. Also, a whole nother topic. Please keep strong, wise sisters in your circle. But anyway, one of my closest girlies was telling me one day, like, the thing is, you have to be able to trust that if you fall, you can stand back up. You have to trust yourself that like, okay, life's gonna happen. There might be a big gust of wind that might knock me down, but I do know how to get up, right? Like, I do know how to push myself up. You have to trust that you can get up. And somewhere along the way, you might have built some mistrust for yourself that you won't be able to get back up, or that you're gonna wobble. Mind you, that might be placebo effect. Like, the last time you got up, if you were wobbling, that was probably fear of falling over again. But this is where, we're just going on a tangent at this point. This is where we turn back to babies. Babies are the inspiration for everything. I'm gonna be so honest with you. Think about a toddler that gets up 20 million times after it has fallen down, over and over and over again. They'll fall on their knees, they'll fall on their butt, and they'll get up and they'll try again and again and again. They're not scared to fall because they're excited to walk. They're excited to stand more than they're scared to fall. And that's what we need to do. As people, we have to be excited to get back up more than we're scared to fall. Know that if you fall, you will get back up again. Know that the fall isn't that bad. Sometimes the bracing of the fall makes the fall worse. Sometimes just fall, girl, and laugh it off. Ooh, fell again. Girl, let me get my behind up. You know what I'm saying? Like, the fall doesn't have to be so devastating. The fall doesn't have to be so scary. Sometimes the fall isn't that bad. Before the world starts to skew babies' brains and such, they're like, oh girl, I fell. Hee hee ha ha. You know how many times toddlers fall and then they be like, ah ha, and they be laughing on the floor because it's like, oh my god, I fell. That was kind of fun too. And then they get back up and they do it again because it's like, I still want to walk though. And if I fall, I'm probably gonna laugh it off. I might cry. Sometimes toddlers fall and they cry if you fall a little hard. I might cry and then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna do it again because wipe them tears and get up and do it again. So again, going back to our garden scenario here, the reason why you're so scared of weeds popping up and why you're so worried about the bad thing that's gonna happen is because you don't trust yourself to be able to handle it. You don't trust yourself to be able to get back up. You don't trust that you can handle the bad things that will come in your life, which is why you are so hyper vigilant and so hyper aware of where they're gonna come from, when they're gonna come, how they're gonna come, rather than just enjoying all the good that's around you. And I don't want you to be 80 one day looking back and being like, oh my god, I was so focused on all the weeds that I missed my garden, and now my garden's kind of, you know what I mean, eventually time's gonna be up, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you don't want to be like, dang, my flowers then died and I missed all the beauty in the flowers. See the beauty in the garden around you, see the beauty within you. That's the next thing. Sometimes we are such bullies to ourselves that we are constantly focused on the bad that we see on us. We're looking for weeds when we are a literal garden. We're looking for weeds. Really, sometimes something might look like a weed that is not a weed. Sometimes things can look the same. You might look at yourself and be like, oh my gosh, I hate my nose, I hate my whatever. That's a weed to me on my body, right? And really, this is such a beautiful flower. She is a unique flower in the garden. She runs the garden. Other people might look at you and be like, oh my god, what a unique, beautiful face. Like, okay, interesting. What a cute nose. I love that nose. I never see that nose. Like, you never know. And honestly, bigger than anything else, if you feel like, girl, no, like, my nose objectively isn't, if you feel like that, your perception is reality. At the end of the day, your perception is reality. How you see things is your reality. Are y'all seeing that lady on TikTok who's talking about her psychiatrist that she feels like is in love with her? That is her perception, so that is her reality. She is living in a rom-com, and that's how she sees it. So it's like, for you, if you see it as, okay, my nose is whatever, I don't like my nose, da-da-da-da-da, then that's your reality. But if you see it as, you know what? Maybe my nose is but let me change my perception on my nose. Maybe my nose is kind of tea. Maybe my nose is kind of cute, and I'm gonna tell myself that every day until that's my reality. Because realistically, you got the pen, my darling. You tell yourself what you think is cool. You tell yourself what you think is hot. You get to choose what music you like. You get to choose what clothes you wear. You get to choose what you think is cute on your body. Okay? You get to decide. The main thing I want you to take from this video and this girl chat in general is that you get to decide. You get to decide how you see the world. You get to decide how you see yourself. You get to decide. I think we lost the plot somewhere along the way when we started to feel like, oh no, society gets to decide. Society is telling me how I should feel about me. Society is telling me what I should do. Like, we lost the plot when it was like, oh, but this society says, oh, but this says, oh, but this. Girl, what do you say? Luckily for you, you run yourself. What they eat don't make you, okay? When they work, it don't go to your account. They dream, you don't dream. Like, you get to choose. So take your power back from whoever you've given it to, from whatever you've given it to. You get to decide. So maybe rewrite your story. Like, maybe all the things that you see as negative, for the next 30 days, be like, I'm going to force myself to see them as positive. Whether it's on my body, whether it's around me, whether it's things in my life, I'm going to force myself to change my perception. Literally, once you start to choose better thoughts, choose better beliefs, you will feel so much lighter. The things that felt like they were weighing you down might have been actually just a magnet pulling you towards something else. Like, oh my god, I feel all this weight on me. Yeah, maybe the weight isn't pushing you down. Maybe the weight is a magnet trying to pull you down and around to where you're supposed to be. But you're viewing it as a weight, so you're not allowing yourself to get pulled in the direction that you're supposed to be pulled, because you're planting your feet saying, no, this is a weight on me, this is weighing me down, when it's not weighing you down. It's a magnet trying to pull you where you're trying to go. Your resistance is getting in your own way. Your beliefs about yourself is getting in your own way. You choosing to view things the way that you do is getting in your own way. Choose the better thought. You deserve to have better peace, better thoughts about yourself and the world around you. And sometimes things are difficult. Sometimes you might get triggered. Sometimes we have some trauma that's really pulling us backwards, that's holding us back to a different version of ourselves. That's fair. That's life. That's why I love my therapist. Down. We have to unpack that so I can release that, so I can let that go out of my suitcase and my baggage feels a little bit lighter. And that's why today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp. Of course. BetterHelp is basically just on a mission to make therapy easier. Everybody needs a little bit of therapy. It's also not a difficult process. I know a lot of people think therapy is just very scary. It's this big bad wolf. It's a mountain. It is not like that with BetterHelp. You can fill out a questionnaire and you'll be matched with a therapist in as little as a couple days. Yeah. Also, I have a lot of people tell me that they're never going back to therapy because their first therapist sucked. So, with BetterHelp, if you do not like your therapist, you can switch out to a new therapist. No cost, no extra fees, no nothing crazy. It's about you getting what's right for you. Therapy has been one of the key players in my life that has really elevated me and allowed me to evolve into the woman that I feel like I am today. So I'm a therapy advocate, I'm a therapy stan. So if you were ever thinking about therapy, you can click the link in my description or you can visit the link here or here, betterhelp.com/Taty. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video, and then let's get back into it. It harms you the most to have such negative thoughts about yourself. This goes back to like the red car theory. If I were to bring up red cars to you and we were to be on the highway, you would notice so many more red cars. You would be like, oh my God, everybody and their mama got a red car. Like, I need to get a red car. Meanwhile, we done passed 50, 100,000 blue cars, but you keep worrying about these red cars because that's what your mind is set out to look for. So if your mind is set out to look for the negative things that you perceive on yourself, the negative in your life, the things that you perceive as negative, if your mind is set out to look for the bad, that is what's gonna feel like. Your life is gonna feel bad. You're gonna feel bad about yourself. You're not gonna feel cute. You're gonna feel like bad things happen to you. You're going to start to make beliefs and perception into facts. These are false facts. They're not facts. These are like misrepresented theories in your mind that you've never really tested out. Sometimes you have to change what you're looking for. If you've been looking for red cars and that's been making you miserable, start to look for blue cars. If you've been looking for blue cars and that's been making you miserable, start to look for white cars. Start to look for different things and set your mind out on that. Rather than saying, oh my God, like all these bad things that I keep looking at. Maybe start to look at every morning like, oh my God, what are the good things that are going on in my life? Oh my God, I have this, I have this, I have this. Every morning, every single morning. If you are like close to me, you know this. Every single morning without fail, I am praying. First of all, I'm praying, I'm probably reading the scripture, and then I'm thanking God for all the things I can think of in the morning. And I know for a fact I'm missing a lot, and I'm thanking God for the littlest of things, for the tiny details, because that sets my day in a posture of gratitude rather than in a posture of disappointment and lack. I don't want to set my day up in feeling like I'm lacking anything. I'd rather set my day up in my mind, in my body, in my spirit, my energy on, I'm so abundant. Good things just happen to me. I'm so blessed. Look at all the amazing things I have going on. Even if I have the busiest day, if I have such a stressful day, it's like, but thank God that I'm even here to experience the stress. If that even makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like finding the good will recenter you all the time. And also being able to just accept the lows. Like you don't have to get to the point where something that is objectively low, something that objectively is bad and that is difficult or traumatic. You don't have to be to the point where you're like, okay, I don't care that this is traumatic. No, when traumatic things happen or difficult things happen, you also give yourself the space to experience the trauma, the difficult things with, again, the faith that you are going to get through it. Give yourself the space to feel it with the faith that you will get through it. Those two can coexist. It's not that you can't give yourself space and you have to quickly jump to everything's fine. No. Sometimes things are not fine. Sometimes you have to deal with the fact that things are not fine right now, but you have to trust yourself that eventually they will be again, because that is the flow of life in general. Literally, what goes up must come down, and then it will go up again. That's just it. Like, you gotta view this as like a ball. It's up and down and up and down and up and down. That's just what it is. And once you embrace the downs, it will also make you appreciate the highs. If you appreciate the highs without looking down, the high will feel better. Sometimes you just have to close your eyes and say, wherever this goes, it's gonna go. And the highs will start to feel longer lasting, because maybe some of those downs are like false downs. Like, for example, if you're going through a breakup, right? And you're like, oh my God, this is such a down. I hate this down. This sucks. Oh my God, I lost the love of my life. Like, you might be feeling all of those things, right? And realistically, that wasn't the love of your life. Realistically, that rejection from him, her, or them, that rejection from them was your redirection. That ending was opening the better door for you. That was redirecting you towards where you were supposed to go. But your perception is that this is so bad. It wasn't bad. You staying in it probably was gonna be bad. Thank God that it ended, so that you can redirect towards your good. But you have your idea of what's good and what's not. Relinquish that. Relinquish your idea that you have it all figured out. You don't know. You don't know what you're talking about. Let's just start there. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay? 9 times out of 10, you really don't know what you're talking about. 9 times out of 10, you think you know what's best for you, and girl, God had such a bigger plan. God had such a bigger painting and such a bigger canvas. God got brushes that you don't got access to. His brush is big. Okay? We got little baby brushes that we think we painting to Picasso. Please. There's always something that God is working on that is so much bigger, prettier, more gorgeous than we could ever even imagine. So when you're like, oh my God, this breakup is so bad, or if you lost a job and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I lost that job. Yeah, well, guess what? You weren't supposed to be there. Okay, you're not with the boy anymore, and what now? And what now? And guess what? That what now is greater, is bigger, is more than you could have ever imagined. Whenever it comes, it will come. Sun always come out eventually, baby. It can't rain forever. And that's just what it is. And sometimes we needed the rain. Sometimes you're like, oh my God, it's raining. Like, this sucks, girl. Maybe things were really dry and were about to be bad. Maybe the conditions were worse than you realized. Maybe you needed that rain. Maybe your garden was getting a little dry and you needed that rain, and it is about to birth something even more beautiful, even more fruitful, more lively, more colorful than you could have ever imagined. You know what I mean? You are your biggest enemy 9 times out of 10. You are in your own way of peace and acceptance and thriving and self-love. Like, you are probably in your own way, because feeling those things feels scary. You feel vulnerable when you feel at peace, because it's like, girl, when is this gonna end? Rather than just being like, I'm at peace, this is fun. Stop looking forward and start looking in the now. Start being present. Sometimes I literally pinch myself when I feel like I'm too in my head or I'm too looking forward. I'm like, oh girl. I literally have to pinch myself to get back in my body. Do the same. If you need to pinch yourself and say, oh girl, hold on, where am I at right now? What am I doing right now? And what am I feeling right now? Then do that. Because why are you thinking about tomorrow, girl? We not in tomorrow. You missing today, think about tomorrow. Missing today, think about yesterday. Like, we are in today, okay? Whatever happens today, happens today. You're allowed to get triggered from things from the past and experience that today. You're allowed to prepare for the future today, but as long as we stay in today, okay? Stop bullying yourself. You are that girl, okay? You are the one. Not the 2 or the 3, the one. And quite literally, you are the only person you're ever gonna be. You are literally one of one. So you might as well just focus on being the one, because in your life, you are the one. Period. And the quicker you realize that, the more things around you will start to look like that. Like, you are the main character in your life. I literally just told my friend that the other day. Like, do not forget, you are the main character. Through and through. You are the girl. Okay, so what do you want your movie to look like? Do you want it to be a rom-com in this season? Do you want it to be a comedy and we just start laughing at life a little bit more? Let's not go the other routes of the sadder categories. And sometimes you're gonna be in that. Sometimes we're gonna have a sad movie and then the next movie is gonna start for the next chapter, and then it might be a comedy. Like, embrace the categories. Embrace all the different genres that your life will be at different points, because that's what I think is the beauty of life. That it's not one genre the whole way through. We'd be bored if we had to watch the same genre, or we had to read the same genre of books, we had to listen to the same genre of music. Whatever it is, we'd be bored, right? We need variety. Sometimes you want pop, sometimes you want R&B. You might want to be sad for a second, and then you might want to be like, okay, it's time to turn up. Like, you need variety. And so embrace the variety of all the categories and genres and moments and ups and downs and chapters of your life without expecting the sad genre again, or anticipating the sad genre and missing your rom-com, anticipating the sad genre and missing your comedy. Like, girl, it's time to laugh right now. We don't have to be sad. That movie might come back up in a little bit. Enjoy all your categories. And also, even when that sad movie does come, enjoy the sad movie. Enjoy that sad chapter of your life and figure out what the lesson is, because these sad movies don't just be sad for nothing. Like, we're supposed to learn something, right? So when that genre comes and your time comes to be sad again, it's like, okay, what did I get from this? And then what? And what can I carry from this chapter into my comedy? The point is, stop being mean to yourself. Stop being mean to yourself. You're not serving nobody. You're not serving your friends. You're not serving your mama. You're not serving your kids. You're not serving yourself. You're not serving your future self. You're so worried about your future self, girl, you're probably making it harder for her. Relinquish that control. Exist in your now and start to choose better thoughts, choose better perception. The next time you're like, oh, this is probably gonna happen and it's negative, say, or this is gonna happen and I'm gonna go with that one. We'll see where that takes me. Okay, my loves, that's all I have to say to you tonight. This was my nightly yap, I guess. Random thoughts that had been on my mind that I needed to talk to y'all about. So hopefully you feel a little lighter. Maybe you watched this at night, maybe you had a little snack or something. I don't know, I love a good little snack. Whatever you did while you watched this video, thanks for watching. Thanks for caring. I hope you feel a little bit better. I hope you change your perception on life moving forward. Even if you just try it for the next 7 days, the next 30 days, whatever you can commit to, I promise you, you will feel lighter by the end of it. Let me know what's going on in your life. Let's chat in the comments and I'll see y'all in my next one.